Hi! I'm not always great. Welcome! Today I want to talk about happiness. This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. This question, am I happy? It's hard to get into talking. I realized I didn't give an actual introduction to this video, so hey, that's what we're doing now. Basically, I felt interested in sitting down and talking, and that's what this video is going to be. So it's more of a departure from the kind of fun stuff I've done before. This one's not going to be fun, you should totally click off. No, you should leave it on, and even if you hate it, just let it play and you can walk out of the room. It'd be good for you. Go look at the sky or something. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about happiness and kind of think about like the pressures that we face and that I in particular have been facing in relation to being happy during this hellstorm of a year and just life in general. Little clarification that like I have a lot of things to say about being maybe unhappy or like feeling pressured, and I just really like to overthink things. It like helps me figure things out and get a better picture of what really is what's going on, but sometimes that makes people think that I'm like really deeply unhappy, and yeah, I'm unhappy. No, I experience unhappiness and happiness and a whole bunch of other feelings too, and I'm really okay. I feel great right now. Felt great when I recorded, and gonna be great again and like not so great later, and that's just how it goes, but I promise I'm totally fine, and I hope that you enjoy this video, and if you have any thoughts like this or ever want to talk about things like this, then definitely do not refrain from reaching out to me. My email is cari@gmail.com, and I hardly ever check it. Alright, go ahead and watch this video now. I don't know, I guess currently I'm in a phase where like nothing's necessarily wrong in my day-to-day life. Like I have work still, I've got a good place to live, I have great friends, and we try our best to stay in communication. So like, why do I still feel bad sometimes? I have to remember that like I'm allowed to zoom out and not just say, okay, today in this moment, like I got good sleep, I have food in the fridge. Besides that, like what is maybe affecting the way that I feel? And I mean, this is probably true for like everyone alive. There's things that I wanted to achieve or experience by now that I haven't yet. All of those things that like I thought had mattered to me and I felt like I'd pushed toward, but I still haven't necessarily like reached any of the various tiers of goals that I just subconsciously have. I think that maybe makes sense. At the same time, in between all of the like logistics of my life and what's going on or what isn't going on, there have been so many beautiful moments, hilarious moments, moments of connection, of deep thought with other people and alone. Some new friendships over the past couple of years that really mean everything to me, and just like a deepening of old friendships that are like absolute foundations of my life. So there are like lots of good things that happen in my life, and I'm really grateful for those. But still the question comes up in my mind, am I happy? It sort of insinuates like you should want more, or what is it that you want that you don't have, or like it makes you look for those things. And that kind of leads me to this next point, which is expectations. When you're getting closer to 30, I think people feel a lot of pressure to be a certain way, maybe to own a house or to be married, or I don't know, have like a really fantastic career. I don't really have any of those things, which is completely fine. Completely fine. Do you see like that panic in my eyes? I don't really want to own a house. I would like to have a partner, but that's just a thing that like eludes me. And the career thing, like I think that's where I get most hard on myself. I want to be somebody who's making so much art that I just like I'm bursting at the seams with it. And like the reality is often more so that like I have to force myself to start making art, even though it's the best place in the world to be once I get into it. That's something I've been working on. And I guess like the expectation would be, okay, if you're any good, you're gonna have made it in your 20s. Whatever made it means, and then there's that weird timeline on it. Excuse me. That all mixed in with kind of feeling like doing nothing because I get depressed, and also because of just what quarantine has been doing to all of us. It's exhausting. Not to mention all of the just horrific displays of racism going on in the country, and trying to care for our friends, trying to make sure the right people get elected so that this does not continue, and also climate change. And like, it's just, there's so much on our shoulders all the time. And I'm smiling because I don't know why. Yeah, there's always like beauty in between all of the shit. I think that's like a powerful human ability, is to be able to find the nice stuff in between. But sometimes it's hard to find that nice stuff. I was trying to talk about expectations. Career, the music thing. Yeah, just like wanting to be in a place where I'm
quite a bit more financially stable so that I can like live on my own and build my own home.
That's a huge goal of mine. It hasn't happened yet. So I think it hasn't happened yet because I don't feel like I really had follow through until now, which is interesting. Because I've done things, sure, but I think I just was content to let time pass. A big culprit of that is TV and YouTube. Yeah, I think it's just so easy to get extremely overwhelmed by life and all of the options that we potentially have, that like,
if I'm not taking advantage of them, then I only have myself to blame, and that's just so intense every day to wake up into that it's really easy to resort to just watching somebody be funny or smart or thoughtful or whatever. Like, why just let yourself fall into another narrative?
So I've been working on limiting that a lot, but it's really hard. Am I happy though? This is what I like gauge to be happiness inside me. It's more so like excitement or hope that I feel like I can make things happen for myself if only I do. There's an excitement that, you know, there's potential, there's a future. Like when you're young, when you're truly young, like a young teenager with prospects, with potential. Oh my gosh, the world is your oyster. You're gonna have all these opportunities. So I sort of wonder if I'm starting to phase out of that feeling of like, I have all this potential, and more so feeling like, I should have risen to my potential already. That feeling sucks. It also is rooted in this idea that, what, you're gonna die when you're 40? Like, there is a whole deep world of adulthood. Like, hopefully you get your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe even your 80s to really settle the hell into who you are and what you're making, whether you're a carpenter or a designer or a musician or an accountant or whoever you are. Like, you have all this time to settle into your personhood and your life. So while there is pressure to have done stuff by 30, there's so much life left, and I'm like completely aware of that. I've always felt most excited for some reason about being 35. I'm like, that's when I'm gonna really feel like me, know how I want to dress and how I want to do my hair and how to keep a home, blah blah blah, hopefully be more financially stable, all of that. But this idea that we just push on young folks, that they have all this potential, that their whole lives are ahead of them, I think that's a really intense feeling to endure. You still have potential for your whole life, but the whole point of that potential people are talking about when you're 16 is like, oh, you're gonna go to an amazing college, or you're gonna leap into an incredible career, and you're gonna do well, which kind of means you're gonna make money, and you're gonna be happy. Like, we wanna watch you be happy because maybe we're not happy. Maybe we don't feel like we did the things that we hoped we would do. Oh, there's so much pain in human existence. It's like really unbearable sometimes. So I'm at a place where I'm trying to just like push off those expectations and say like, what do I want? What do I want to do with my life? Always thinking about like, a good life is really just a bunch of well-lived days stacked up on top of each other. So if I do today pretty well, and I know I did yesterday pretty well, and I try to do tomorrow well, then that means I'll have had a good week and eventually a good year and a good life. So expectations be damned. But really still they haunt me. Is happiness the goal? I mean, in some ways, yes. I don't know. I mean, then you have to get into what even is happiness. Like, is happiness the same as joy or peace? We always are looking at this golden future. Like, by then, because of the work I'm doing now, I'll be able to live a certain way. It's like, you kind of have to teach yourself how to live the way you want to live. So if I want to be grateful, I have to practice gratitude every day. If I want to be happy, I have to, you know, look for the good shreds amongst the day, because it's not just gonna happen. I'm not gonna all of a sudden wake up at 50 and be enlightened. Like, you have to build those habits, and maybe that leads to happiness, contentedness. Maybe that's the goal, contentedness. I'm content knowing that this is where I am today and I'm doing my best with what's at my disposal, right? I almost think life is more about hope than about happiness. Of course you want to appreciate where you are, but that comes from gratitude. Being happy is sort of just like, I'm doing really okay and people are making me feel good, or I just ate a great meal or something. It's like, it's a shiny, glossy feeling that goes on top of a lot of other hard work and a lot of other good feelings. So I think it, like, talking about happiness does get at some important things, but I don't think it's the end goal. And these things, is any of this interesting? I wonder if we can get anything like sort of fun out of this, or if this is just gonna be intense. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I also really want to say thank you to the people who have subscribed to my channel. It means really a lot to me that you've done so. It also really helps my channel eventually get to a place where more people can see what I do. When you subscribe and when you like and when you comment and when you share my videos with your friends, it's nice when even 1 or 2 more people appreciate it. Well, now I'm pretty much done. I think I'm gonna go make some tea or something. All right, thanks so much. Bye. Friendly reminder to keep educating yourself about the Black Lives Matter uprising movement. If you don't understand it, that means you need to do some more learning. And also, Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. May she rest in peace. She did so much for this country, but let's not let that be a reason to give up or feel like all is lost. All is never lost. And we are here. We are going to support each other, and we're going to make things right one way or another. So, have hope, have faith, check in with your friends. If you're feeling low, reach out to somebody. Reach out to me. Alright, that's all I'm going to say for now. Also, you know, like, donations, petitions, keep checking in on everything. I know it's overwhelming, it's so exhausting, it's tiring. And the fires and everything. We're trying our best. It's all going to be okay. I love you so much. Goodbye. Can you make a weirder face in this? That's like a classic. That's like a 6-year-old weird face.